How's it going, everybody? I'm still getting set up at the moment, but hey there, Plywood. How are you doing today, buddy? I had a few chores today before I got started today, so well, I can say one thing. The heater and the moving blanket did help them dry out quite a bit overnight since they're cut up with the hole drilled in the bottom. A couple of them that were on the very end furthest away from the heater's still kind of damp, but they'll do. So I'm curious, do you like this format of video of live where I build and talk at the same time instead of just sitting and talking or just building? I didn't think I would ever like building on live, but I'll be honest with you, I kind of enjoy it. I don't feel quite as crazy because it looks like I'm talking to myself as I normally would. But Is there really 13 people watching? They must be popping up on the short feed and not coming all the way in. Because when something like this pops up in a short feed, you can watch it and watch it like that, or you can go completely live and it'll give you a little button down there to click watch live instead of just sitting in the short feed. But those are a little bit bigger than the other ones. Oh, it'll be okay. But yeah, everybody watching, feel free to hop in and say hi in the chat. We do like to talk to everybody. Or I like to talk to everybody. I'm just getting set up to finish these bee traps out here that I didn't get done yesterday. Okay, let's see. Where's your thing? At least I think it's going to be a nice day today, at least. Well, hello there, Tom. How are you? And yeah, I'm trying to spend a whole lot of time down here as much as I can. I've got to get stuff done I should have had done weeks ago. I'm only showing 2 viewers, me and one other. Well, yeah, that's what your name says. I'm pretty awesome most of the time myself. Maybe not all the time, but most of the time. Yeah, Tom, I had made some the other morning on live, and I'm down to my last two, and had an order for 3 came in, and then right after that, I had another order for 2. So the order for 3 was from a lady that bought 3 last year. She messaged me and asked me if I still made them and wanted 3 more. So I guess a repeat customer is a good sign, huh? Yeah, wood's a little bit drier anyway, not as dry as it needs to be, but oh, I did not know that. For anybody watching that does not know, I'm drilling the angled holes in the side of the bee trap to let the bees fly into. The object of these traps where the holes are drilled up at an angle when the bees go in, the only light they can see comes from the bottom, so they fly down into the jar and then they can't get back out. So you cover up with the holes that they have dug, and then you hang these up and they go in them instead of digging other holes because they're lazy like me. That must have had a little bit of liquid seep out of it. I believe I may keep up with these morning lives like this, and just as I'm making the things that I need to make for to sell, like the bee traps and bluebird houses and things like that. That way I'm doing something during the day, getting things made I need to make, and getting to chat with you guys. That's the best part of it, in my opinion. Because I'm normally down here just talking to myself. And there's always the hope that somebody will scroll through this and find it in their short speed and decide they like me and subscribe, which does happen from time to time. I mean, I'll carry on full on conversations with myself down here. It's hilarious sometimes. Good Lord. I hate it when the wood's wet like this. I don't know. Some people tell me I'm crazy, but I guess they're right. But they don't tell me that because I talk to myself. They tell me that because I am crazy, I guess. But I hide it very well, I think, most of the time. I got a feeling I'll end up burning this drill up today. I don't know though, it ain't working quite as hard just drilling the 1/2 inch angled holes as it was the big 3/4 inch hole in the bottom. It really struggled yesterday, that wet wood. But I mean, for a $15 drill, I cannot complain about this at all. It has got a heck of a lot of use. So if anybody watching ever wonders about a Warrior drill from Harbor Freight, they are definitely worth the money. And it's definitely better to buy one of those than the Hopper Tough from Walmart. I had to go buy a drill last year because my battery charger quit working for my Black & Decker cordless while I was making an order for bee traps. I went to Walmart and bought one of the Hopper Tough drills. It's about the same price as the Warrior. It burned. It made it, I think, a day before it burned up. So yeah, they're definitely not worth it. But this has been a good drill so far. This is my second one of these. I did have to cash in the 90-day warranty on the first one. I cashed it in on the 91st day because the chuck got wet and it wouldn't open and close no more. But other than that, I mean, the motor's still working, everything just fine. Yeah, I can't stand going to Walmart, but when it's 9:30 at night and you bring your drill up and you're trying to finish an order by the next morning, you know, you got to do what you got to do. I would like to open up a 24-hour hardware store. Something like Lowe's, only smaller, maybe something like Ace Hardware, maybe a little bit smaller than that, but stay open 24 hours. I believe that would work. Because so many people have problems at night, tools burning out, I mean, pipes busting, things like that, that they need to get stuff for and they can't because there's nowhere open to get anything. I've been thinking about woodworking as a business model, and all of the hardwood and exotic wood shops that I've been in, I ain't been in but like 3, but every one of them, they sell their lumber and they also have shops inside and make stuff to sell. So I wonder if that might be the business model to go with as a woodworking business. Deal with lumber and make things. Now, there's still some moisture seeping out of some of these. And that drill starts going in, you can see it start forming up on the side of the hole. I think what I'll do is, since I'll have a little bit of inventory left tomorrow, I'll go to Lowe's and go ahead and get another 4x4 and go ahead and have it drying and ready for whenever I get my next order or get ready to make some more inventory. Okay, let's see. I've been building up my cedar fence picket inventory here to have to work with, and I've got like 14 of them built up now or something like that. I just counted them and can't remember what the number was. So after I get these bee traps done, hopefully I'll get them done today. Tomorrow I'll do some bluebird houses. I have phone calls come in every 5 or 10 minutes all day long. Whoever had this number before me must have signed up for a bunch of stuff online and got all these spam calls coming in. I mean, it's sometimes, some days it is nonstop. Man, it's still a bit early yet. I really do need to find a better way to clean these out, though. Especially when they're wet like this. So that sawdust really sticks in there. This razor knife ain't strong enough. I could torch it out, I guess, but I'm afraid that burning it might make the bees not want to go in it. don't like the way the dog's barking. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Hmm. Oh crap, I don't even have my safety glasses on. Why hadn't anybody said anything? I hadn't even realized it. If anybody is watching, make sure you always wear your safety glasses. Don't be like me. Okay, there we go. That's better. Now I feel safe. Hmm. I hope everybody's having a fine morning this morning. It's 11:30. People ought to be piling in about now. That's usually when they do. I think I might go back through that with that 3/4 inch bit. Go back in the bottom and drill just a little bit deeper to see if that'll knock that sawdust out of there. I've never had one this wet and it caused this much trouble. It's crazy. When I was at Harbor Freight the other day, I tried to find me a 3/4 inch regular size drill bit, but they didn't have anything that had any sets, affordable sets that had one in it. There's Old Path. How's it going, buddy? I figured you'd be piling in here pretty soon. It's 11:30. That's about when you guys start coming in. Of course, I guess that's usually when I have been going live, but hey, there's Elegant. I'm taking bets. Is this wet wood going to burn my drill up? Hey Joe, yeah, carpenter bee traps. I made a bunch the other day, but I'm already sold down to 2, and I've got orders for 5. So one person had bought 6, and they wanted 2 more. And then one lady that bought 3 from me last year sent me a message on Marketplace the other day. I've not even listed these for sale yet, asking me if I still made them, and told me she wanted 3 more. So I'm trying to hurry up and get these done by tomorrow. I did not think I would like going live and building at the same time, but it turns out I do like it. I mean, I talk to myself while I work anyway, so why not talk to you guys? You guys are cooler than I am. It kind of surprised me, to tell you the truth about it. I mean, I can build and talk and build and talk and build. I could do this all day long. Man, I can't believe you're this wet and leaving that much side. Man, them some nasty looking holes. Yep, that's exactly right, Elegant. Welcome back, Plywood. Have any of you guys ever used one of the auger drill bits? Do they leave pretty clean holes? I was just curious if they might leave a cleaner hole inside, especially when the wood's wet. These holes look really bad. When the wood's actually dry, it's not so bad, but this thing was still pretty much sopping wet yesterday. I put it on the table saw for those of you that wasn't in here. It knocked a big spot of sap and water out onto my table saw when I cut a piece of it. I mean, these spade bits have been so far the best thing that I've found to make a nice clean cut in these. But I've been trying to figure out something better. And if one of those would work, I might just cave in and buy at least one of those. I don't know if I was going to drill the side holes with, but 100% for the bottom hole, I want one. The set that I have ain't really long enough for me to drill my bottom hole and get it deep enough and it look good. And they buy. I just got like the cheap set from Harbor Freight, but I didn't even try them on the side hole because I don't know. Just looking at them and looking at that side hole made me a little bit nervous. Absolutely. Give me just a second, let me get a prop here. The holes are drilled up at roughly a 45-degree angle or whatever angle you get your drill lean to. But first thing you do is you go out and find all of the carpenter bee holes and cover them up. After you cover them up, hang one of these near their holes. And instead, they're like me, they're lazy. Instead of digging a new hole, they will find the next closest hole to go into. So they will go up in here, and where it's angled, the only light they will be able to see when they get up in there is coming from the bottom in the jar here. So they'll get down in the jar, and with that angle, they can't get back out. So that's how they work. You do not have to put any bait in them. I know that Lowe's does sell bait for the traps, but I don't know whether or not it works. I've not tried it, so I can't really speak one way or the other on it, but you don't need it as long as you cover up the holes. Everybody that gets them that says they don't work, that's why, because they haven't covered up the other holes. But yeah, they're pretty cool little things. And the reason I started making them was because we had a lot of them last year. And then after I made one and caught a couple, I got to thinking, you know, I could actually sell this. And this was the first woodworking project I sold. in my area, I put a $10 price tag on them. But I give them a deal. If they buy more than one, I'll sell them to them for $8 a piece, and they jump all over it. The ones they sell at Lowe's, a lot of them are just like plywood or some like a thin sheet of cedar, and they, instead of having a jar attached to them, they just got open space in the bottom with plexiglass around it, and I don't like the way it looks. I've talked to other people. I was talking to one guy yesterday. He said he's seen them. He didn't care much for them. He said they were like $15 in there. So, I mean, if you can make something a little bit cheaper and a little bit better than what Lowe's sells, you're in there. At least around here, anyway. I'll just take that drill bit back down in there in a minute when I get the rest of them drilled. Ooh, last one to drill. Then I'll have to go back there and try to get them holes cleaned out some. But you was talking about the screw tips on the auger bits. I know the spade bits like this that have the screw tips on them, that's not really feasible. I tried drilling into one of these with one of those with screw tips on it, and it seems it threaded in there, it got stuck, and it's hard to hold a 4x4 while the drill's spinning it. Not fun. But this is not my design, my invention. It's been around for many, many, many years. So I just found a tutorial online and decided what sizes I wanted to make it and took off with it. Hey, Robert, how's it going? I'm doing pretty good. Trying to get these bee traps knocked out because I got to get rid of some. I've got 5 sold and I've only got 2 left in inventory, so. Of course, this is hard to do with a 4x4 that's wet and slinging sap and water back at you. We're gonna run that bottom bit back in these and see if it don't help some. Well, I've got some jigs for these. They're just measurement jigs, but these 2 little jigs right here have saved me so much time in making these. Because I put my holes in the middle and 1 inch up on the sides and directly in the middle of the bottom. So 1 3/4 is the middle of a 4x4. So there's that one for marking, and there's the inch up from the bottom. That saved me about 5 minutes for each trap from having to Get your tape measure and measure again, and then take your square and make your marks. This saving, I'd say at least 5 or 6 minutes each feed track. After I built my second batch last year, I thought there's got to be an easier way, and that was what I came up with. I've been thinking about trying one out of a fence picket and seeing how it came out, Robert. But I'll do that after I get these orders done. If I do that, I might charge you a couple of dollars more for it. I don't know, but oh, damn, I missed the hole. Yeah, not having to measure these marks out saved me so much trouble. I mean, it made it so much better in the long run for me to not have to do that. Oh, come on, damn it. Oh, that's not cleaning up like I thought it would. Well, shit. Yeah, autocorrect gets me all the time. Hey, we're getting something. There we go. Excuse me just a second, guys. Sorry about that. I had a call come in that I needed to take. Oh. Nice. You gonna post a picture when it's done? Everybody seems to be doing keepsake boxes here lately. I'm not overly concerned about the holes being having a little bit of sawdust in them, but when they have a whole lot in them, I don't know if the bees will finish digging through it or not, but a little bit of sawdust, I mean, I assume that's fine, but these holes are real bad. This 4x4 was bad. And it was the best out of all of them. But it's got some cracks on the bottom of it here already. Probably where I had it drying in front of the heater, I guess, but I didn't know what to do. Every 4x4 Lowe's had was wet, and all of them but this one were all cracked and busted and had big chunks gone out of them. I might try the fence picket one, and if they go pretty well, I might just switch over and start doing them. But I think people like these because they're cheaper. That one poor guy last year had just had a deck built. And he said they had already about destroyed it. There was holes everywhere. He bought I can't remember, it was like 8 or 10. It was a big number of traps, so he had a huge problem with them. And after I used mine last year, I've not seen any yet this year at my house. I wasn't even aware they were out yet till somebody said something about it at work. And then when somebody at work said something, I said, you know what? I got the solution for you. 350 or 360, something to that effect. Depends on the day of the week, I guess. We'll call it $4 because it's between $3.50 and $4. of a 6-foot 4x4, I can get 14 if all of the wood is good. So out of 4 fence pickets, that would be 3/4, that would be $12 worth of fence pickets. No, that wouldn't work out because I'd have to cut the tops and bottoms too. It'd be 5 fence pickets to do as many. Are you doing your inner walls with it, or are you building you a shop and using it for the outdoor walls? Hey, there's Kevin. I had thought about building me a shop trying to build me a shop outside with just pallets and fence pickets to see how that would turn out, but I don't know if I trust my build skills that much. Where's it at? That might be an idea I hadn't thought of. I wonder if that'll work better for that. Around here, the fence pickets are, I don't know, they're not like they were like this time last year. In the past few months, they've been different sizes and in really, really, really bad shape. I've got one that it just looks like a wave like this where they had tried to cut it out. And I don't know if it been as they were cutting it or what, but it just looked like a big, huge S all the way up through there like that. Maybe somebody's building a really big fence, Elegant. I mean, I assume I'm not the only woodworker in the world that buys them to use for projects, but I assume most people actually use them to build fences with. Hey, that's a possibility. I tried making the planter box last year, but by the time I got the pickets for that sanded down and as nice as I wanted them, I decided the only way I could make those and sell them and make any money would be rustic, because there's a couple of people around here that really drove the price down. I mean, I can't do all that work for $25. I just can't do it. Now, if I could still get, 30, 45 out of them, that would be another story entirely. But the fact that they're selling for 20 or $25 now, I can't compete with Billy Joe Bob down the road that's trying to make him some beer money, Now, my plan is the projects that I make that other people really don't, like these, I think there's one other person around, and I might be the only person in my town that makes these particular bee traps anyway. But bluebird houses, there's one other person that I have competition with, and I sold probably 50 bluebird houses last year, but I guess I sold more than that. I was selling 5 to 10 a week to one person. She wanted a bunch more, but then she wanted some bat houses, and then we lost communication after that because my phone got turned off and my fiance broke her ankle, which put me out of the shop. I'm hoping maybe she'll find my number and call me back and say, hey, do you want to build anything else for me? But she's not yet, so. Yeah, if somebody requested one, I would 100% build it as nice or as rustic as they want it, as long as they're going to pay me more than $20 or $25 for it. I'll just let Billy Joe Bob down the road have that project to get him some beer money with, and I'll make something else. I do hope one day I can upgrade my tools and actually make fine furniture and open a furniture store or something to that effect. Like there's a little Amish furniture and wood store down the road here about 3.5, 4 miles away from me. They've got some really nice stuff, but oh my God, the prices. If I can make half of what they make on stuff, it would be amazing. I mean, I wouldn't be able to sell something and label it as Amish made because I'm not Amish and I don't want to convert to being Amish, but I could say made in Amish style or something to that effect, I guess. I believe I'm going to try making some wishing wells too, not necessarily just the small planter yard decoration. I was going to do a video on one, and just as I was about to start it, Daniel released his video on the wishing well planters. So I said, no, I'm not going to do that to him. I'll just let him have that and I'll move on to something else. But I mean, we're going to end up run into us being on the same projects from time to time. That's just how it's gonna have to work in this community because it is what it is, but. I mean, back in the 90s, you used to see them everywhere, but I don't see them much anywhere. Not like I used to, anyway. People really used to be into them wishing well years ago. I think there's been a cat on my workbench. That looks like cat fur. They won't never come down here when I'm down here. One of the cats had kittens a few weeks ago, and oh my God, there's a gray and white one. It is so damn cute. It's so cute, I can't stand it. Yeah, I bet you're exactly right. I'd say that's usually how it goes, though. We went to Hobby Lobby the other day to get. I was going to get another thing of ink to see if it worked better than the first brand I bought. And as soon as we got up to the door, that said all their spring items were marked down 40% off. So I looked at the old lady. I said, I guess it's time to start making summer stuff now. But I don't think the Hobby Lobby that they opened here is doing as good as they thought they would. All that big expensive furniture they have sitting as you walk in the door, they've always got it marked down on clearance or something. It's like they can't sell it. I mean, I know there's people here that have money. There's a lot of people in this town with money. But they sure don't seem to want Hobby Lobby stuff. Yeah. I used to go in Hobby Lobby and look at stuff like that, and the next time over and think, who in the hell would pay that much for an end table? You know, kind of sarcastically. And now I go in there and I'm like, I wonder if people will pay that much for an end table. And wishes do come true sometimes. Not very often, but sometimes. Okay, if anybody's got earbuds in, this is your sound warning. Alright, now we're cooking. My Hobby Lobby don't ever really have anything. I don't know that I consider all that great other than the furniture outside the door there, but I mean, they don't have a whole lot along the lines of woodworking projects that I would try. Most of the stuff they have is just metal signs and craft supplies, stuff of that nature. It actually looks like it might work. So. Hey Suzanne, how's it going? Welcome to the insanity. Before you go, Elegant, did you get your notification today or did you just happen to pop up on me? That's a good question for everybody. Did you get your notifications today? I'm pretty sure Plywood did because he was in here when I started. I hear sirens. They're coming to get me. No notification. Did you find me in the short feed, Elegant? What the hell is going on? That must not be good. It was an ambulance and a crash truck went up the road, one right behind the other. Elegant, did I tell you about how the notifications have been set up? I don't know if I talked to you about it or not. I talked to somebody. But if you're on your phone and you click on your subscriptions and look at how their settings are for notifications, the little bells. Let me see here. If I can do it from this phone. Click on subscriptions and then view all. And then the little bells right here. If you're on daytime screen, they should be black. If you're on nighttime screen, if they're not, you can just tap on it. Try to tap on it and put it on all. I mean, I know when you subscribe to people, it says, when you click it, it says all because everybody I've subscribed to, I've done that, but for some reason, nobody was set up that way. Smallwood, how's it going? I almost feel bad calling you Smallwood. On these carpenter bee traps, they don't have to be sanded down really fine. Just a sheet of 80 grit to smooth them down and clean them up some is more than good enough for this project. I mean, if this was a table or something, I would at least go down to 120 or 180, but just what it is, just a quick one, run over with 80 grit's more than good enough. And I do take my sander to the corners of this, just a quick up and down to kind of break the corner down some. It is 100% not necessary, but it feels better in your hand, so. Oh, there it is, okay. All right, now, back to it. And this is an item that will sell all summer long too, guys. I sold these up into almost August last year. Carpenter bee traps, Suzanne. I have a video on my channel on how to make them, but for a quick rundown for you, 3/4 inch hole in the bottom, about 3 inches deep, and then 1 inch up, and in the middle of the side, drill 1/2 inch holes, or roughly 45-degree angle or whatever angle you can get at about like that. It don't have to be exact angle, but after you get the jar mounted to it and cover up the holes that the carpenter bees are using, and then hang this up near it. And since their holes covered up, they'll start going in here. And with the angle the holes are drilled at, the only light they can see comes from the bottom, the jar. So they go down in there and then they can't get back out. I sell these $10 a piece, but if you buy more than one, I knock it down to $8. I only started selling stuff last year, and this was the first thing I ever sold was carpenter bee traps, and I sold a bunch. Hell, I sold quite a few this year already. I've sold, I think 9 or 10. I've got 2 more to go to one person and 3 more to go to a lady that bought 3 last year. So I've got a repeat customer. So apparently they work. Oh yeah, absolutely. That would be much better than actually going out and trying to get a 4x4 that's not busted all to pieces or completely sopping wet. This 4x4 is the only one they had that wasn't cracked, and it was sopping wet, completely soaked. Do not buy Hercules sandpaper. It is garbage. That's the only thing bad I can say about anything I've got at Harbor Freight is this sandpaper is garbage. Changes in latitude, changes in attitude. I love that song. I love Jimmy Buffett. He's my hero. Thank you. Now it's stuck in my head. I took off the rail. come around work last night threatening to make us work over because nobody had hit their production. But right now I'm training a new guy, and the new people, the trainees, don't have to stay over when that's that scenario. They said they were going to keep the 4 lowest producers and make them stay over, which my trainee only ran not even a quarter of what he should have. So, and it was, I made it under my name, so it would have been me, one of the lowest producers, staying over. And I told my boss, I said, look here, you know, I have a trainee and I'm never one of your lowest producers, and you know this. And he said, yeah, I know. So nobody wound up having to stay over, but I was just sure they was going to make me. Am I lagging some, guys? Can you hear me? Anybody? All right, Kevin, you have a good one, buddy. Yeah, I reckon 45 degrees is supposed to be the optimum angle they tell you, but it's hard to measure that with a hand drill, so just use your best effort. I mean, that's more than enough of an angle right there. And when I drill my hot side holes, I'll start my drill bit straight, and then I'll lean down and go in. I don't know, it makes the edge of the hole look better for some reason. I had a good day once. You are 100% correct, Plywood. The difference between a good day and a bad day is just the context, really, of how you look at it. Do you guys ever pay attention to the growth rings on the bottom of your 4x4s or when you get them? Check that out. They were perfectly round for several years, and then right there it looked like something hit the tree or something. There's a big dip right there in it, so something happened that year. I wonder what it was. Sorry, I'm a nerd. I think about things like that. Thanks for stopping by, Suzanne. Come by and hang out anytime. Okay, so I'm thinking production work don't keep people as occupied as a specialty build does as far as lives go. But I will keep that in mind for the future. What are you into today, Smallwood? Yeah, plywood. I remember when I first tore my rotator cuff, you couldn't get me hardly to get up and move to do anything. You don't realize how much your shoulder affects you and stuff like as far as doing stuff goes until something happens to it. Your shoulder and your pinky toe, you don't realize how much they actually do for you until you injure one of them. Well, plywood, I think plywood's an apt name myself. I mean, you know, strong, durable, held together with glue. That 100% works for you. I know that's probably not that funny, but if we don't laugh at stuff, then we'll lose our minds. Well, I feel like this is taking me forever. I'll be right back, guys. I think somebody's here. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I mean, I would have bet somebody either opened the door or knocked on the wall to get my attention. But apparently not. Everybody's still asleep. Have a good day, Smallwood. Holy crap. Let's see, I broke my hand, I broke my toe, I tore my rotator cuff. I had a hernia the size of my fist right here next to the no-no place. You talk about something that hurt that bad. Had a whole bunch of dental problems. Oh, and my face. I broke my nose, my orbital bone, and one of the bones around my sinuses also. I didn't break my knee, but I blew it out when I was tore my LCL and done some other damage to it when I was 20. Of course, at that point in time, I didn't go to the doctor. And when it finally got bad enough that I couldn't stand it anymore in my late 20s, early 30s, the ortho doctor told me that I needed a total knee replacement, but I was too young. He said they only last about 10 years, so I was too young. I said, it seems to me like that would be a win-win. You would get to do the operation again and make double the money, and I would get to have my knee while I'm young enough to enjoy it. But they didn't say it that way. Okay, one more and I'm done with the sanding. Hooray. Oh, do I need to trim one of them holes? Yeah. Sanding is my favorite part of woodworking. Hey, Flossie, what's going on? Yeah, I'm making carpenter bee traps like the one in my video. I made 9 the other day, or no, I made 11 the other day. However many I made live the other day, and I have 2 left, so I've got more orders, so I've got to get more made. So that's what I'm doing. And I figured I would be standing down here talking to myself anyway, so why not hang out with you guys? That makes much more sense than standing down here talking to myself. That's exactly what I tell people, Elegant. Hey, there's Ray. I was just thinking, I've not seen you in a while. How are you doing? Whew. Wow. Damn, that's a lot of work. What time have we got? 109. Okay. These new jars are gonna make my bee traps fancy since they're got diamond patterns in them instead of smooth. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I just go over it with 80 grit to make sure nobody's gonna get any splinters or anything. Plus, it erases the pencil marks. It's just, cleaning it up, breaking the corners down, making sure there's no splinters sticking off, things like that. It's not an absolutely have to thing, but I want people to actually see them and want them. Which I sold 3 to a lady last year, and she sent me a message on Facebook day before yesterday telling me she wanted 3 more, so I must be doing something right. I've been that way here lately too, Ray. Doing these lives, building these bee traps has helped me some, but I've been struggling too, man. And I don't know why. It's just, well, I didn't know why I started out with a bunch of stress and drama, and then I couldn't pull myself back up out of it. Everybody here ordered Little Caesars the other night while I was at work, and when they do stuff like that, I tell them just to put mine in the oven and I'll eat it when I get home from work. So when I got home and got the pizza box out of the oven and opened it, there was a card in it from my fiance telling me how proud she was of me and how much she loved me and how much she appreciates me, and that helped some too. That helped quite a bit, just having a little bit of appreciation. Appreciation goes a long way, a lot further than anybody even realizes. Let's start over here on this one and work that direction. Yeah, that screw's too small for that to even work. But yeah, Flossie, if these traps were for me, I wouldn't sand them at all. But since they're being sold, I do try to maintain a certain level of quality, especially since the wood looks terrible. And it's still kind of wet. It was sopping wet, but now it's just kind of wet. But yeah, I started making some of these bee traps because somebody at work wanted them. That was why I started making the ones that I was originally making. And when I come down here and started making them, I thought, you know what? I don't know if anybody will want to watch this or not, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it live and see. And people watch, so I worked on them. And now that I've sold down, I'm building back up. After I get this batch done, I think I'll make a few bluebird houses and start listing everything on Marketplace. Yeah, that lady from last year, she said she got back on Marketplace where she had sent me the original message and messaged me from there. That was how she found me this time. I didn't even have my listing up. Which kind of tells me that nobody else probably does either. She might have went to somebody else instead of going through all that trouble. So maybe I do need to get these up pretty quick. These screws suck. God damn it. Apparently I suck. But yeah, Flossie, I've tried to talk myself out of sanding these, and I don't sand them down as much as I would like to. But if I'm gonna sell somebody something for $8 or $10, it ain't no more than a piece of 4x4 with a jar mounted to it. I'm gonna have to at least make it look halfway decent. Yeah, my funster lately's just been a lack of motivation. Mom had a little wreck in the car, which caused the brakes needed bleeding, and I hadn't got it done because I couldn't get nobody to pump the brakes for me. And between that and everything else going on, everything just kind of got to me all at once. That one's a little bit off center. Okay, good. I got it started without having to drill it. Yay. But yeah, this time of year, this is a really good seller, especially in the warmer regions. I caught mine I used one last year and I've not seen any this year. So I didn't even know they were out till somebody at work started talking about needing some after they had seen the stuff that I make. Because I keep a little folder in my phone of all of my woodworking stuff, and I title it catalog, and I show it to people when we start talking about it. And he seen them carpenter big traps, and he said he needed some, him and his old lady, and they got 6 of them, and they want 2 more, so they're gonna get them. I've got 2 over there in the basket, and right here's the lady ordered 3, so that leaves me 1 extra from what I've got built up right here on the table that I just now finished. So if I have to stop working today, it'll be fine. I got everything I have to have for tomorrow made. I don't know. I kind of like the look that jar gives the B trap as opposed to the plain one. It does raise the cost of my materials by like $3, but that's neither here nor there, I don't guess. Okay, that's all of my orders filled, but I got to get my inventory built up too. Gonna make any more, Ray? Why are you not gonna make any more, Ray? Yeah, Ray, it takes a while to actually get stuff sold. I mean, I've not made a great big bunch of money off of woodworking yet. I've probably not even made enough to cover my tools yet, but every little bit. Find small little things like these carpenter bee traps, bluebird houses, bird feeders, things of that nature, and post them on Marketplace. That is absolutely how you get it done. I mean, it takes time. You got to get a name built up and everything before you can start making a whole lot of money. But you have a good day, my friend. Make sure you stop back in and see us. We're here. We've been here a lot this week. I'm going to try to keep it up all week if I can. Oh, I've got so much to do and just not enough time. When you put these jars on the 4x4, just use the band. Don't use the little metal topper. It is kind of pointless. You just have to drill through it and it just makes a sharp edge and doesn't really serve any purpose. So just take it out. That's why I use cannon jars instead of anything else, because I don't have to worry about drilling a hole through it. Just run you a screw in around the corner of the 4x4 with it, with your hole in the middle of the band. 2 screws is more than enough to hold it. I'm using 3/4 inch long screws. You could use longer. I wouldn't go any shorter than that, but you could 100% probably use these 1.25 inch screws I've got here. I tested it on a chunk of 4x4 the other day and it didn't split it, so I think that would be fine. Well, I'm running out of room. Yeah, 100%, Ray. I mean, I think you've still got me on Facebook. You can message me if you need to talk or anything. My door is always open. If I'm at work, I may not be able to reply immediately, but I will reply as soon as I see it. Yeah, Flossie, you probably could. Might catch some honeybees that way too, but don't really want to catch honeybees and hurt them. But these carpenter bees, they don't really serve any purpose other than tearing up all of your wood stuff. Okay, now that's going to use up all of my jars right there. I've got some of these little smaller jars here, but I don't like the way that they look with them because they're too short, honestly. I think, you see, I just don't think that looks quite right. It's too small. It makes it awkward looking for some reason, or in my opinion, it does anyway. I've got a few of these left, but I'm getting ready to use the last 5 of my ball jars here. To finish up, I'll have 3 lengths left, so I'll definitely have to get another thing of jars this weekend. But I'm trying to get these all built today, so tomorrow I can start on the bluebird houses. Let me see if I can get you guys a better angle here. Yeah, I think that'll be better for you. These fancy jars here are like $3 more than the ones that I typically use. What I typically use is the Walmart brand name ones, or Mainstays, or whatever the heck they're called, Great Value, something like that. But they're a little bit cheaper on the price, so that's what I usually get. But they've been out of them at Walmart for a month now, so I finally caved in and bought these. It was either that or go up to pint jars, which would totally be fine too. But people really seemed to like the half pint design that I was doing, so I didn't really want to change things up too much. Good Lord. If that collar would hold that screw, it would be all right, but it don't want to, because I'm in an awkward place. These little screws are sometimes hard to get started. You could drill your pilot hole, I guess, but that just means you're going to be changing the drill bit over and over and over, and that gets tiresome after a while. I apologize, I'm not keeping up with the chat very good. The phone was about dead and I moved it over to the charger, so I am going over and looking at it every little bit. But these are a fun little easy project to do. It don't take long to, like if I was making just one, I would say it wouldn't take me 5 minutes to do. That's from cutting the 4x4 to sanding to marking to drilling to putting the jars on and putting the screw eye on. But if you ever have to need to do a little something like we were talking to Ray about, just to try to get your motivation back up, this is an easy little project to do that with. I mean, it's helped me immensely doing this week. I feel better than I felt in a long time. I mean, I do know that part of that's probably from the appreciation card I got from my fiance the other night, but I do know that this is some of it too. I don't know if you could glue these bands on and them stay or not. I have never tried it. Screws seem to work better, and I mean, I'm a little bit shaky today for some reason, so I've been having a little bit of difficulty putting the screws in, but Alright, one more and then I'll come check on the chat. Are you getting any building done, Flossie? God damn it. Okay, there we go. Damn, that screw cut through a band. Holy shit. Maybe it was just sticking up too far. Occasionally you'll have some trouble with stuff like that. There it goes. All right. Good deal. All I've got left to do is put my screw eyes in and I'm done. Let's go look at the chat. A chicken planter with pallets. Are you wanting it shaped like a chicken, or are you wanting to paint chickens on it, or are you wanting to plant chickens in it, or we need a little bit more information on that one, I believe. Okay, now let's get these screw eyes in, because I got to get ready to work. Elegant, did you get the bassinet finished? I think it was you that was doing the bassinet. Hell, I can't remember anymore who was doing what. I think it was you, though. And I really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It means the world to me that you guys could be doing anything right now, and you're hanging out with me. Makes a guy feel all special inside. No, it really does, though. It really does mean a lot. Sorry, I had to crack a joke. I was getting emotional. I can't be emotional without cracking a joke. You guys should know that about me by now. I mean, I could probably trim these blocks down smaller and use the smaller jars, but I think that's going to take off too much of the block for them to be effective. Or it might take off too much of it to even drill the holes in it appropriately. So I'll just stick with I mean, they're both half pint jars, but I'll just stick with the tall ones instead of the wide ones. I mean, I like this design. I could use pint jars, but I just like the way this looks a little bit better. No, Bill, they are carpenter beach racks made from a 4x4 and some canning jars. Flossie is just now getting started, Elegant. Or I believe she's the one that said that my beginner series actually helped her get started anyway. I might be wrong. It may not have been her, but I think it was. Yeah, let's see. Stand them up here on the workbench. See what we got. Oh shit. I put some in here without the screw eyes on. How the hell did I do that? I'm glad I pulled these out and looked at them. That gives me 13 in my inventory. Minus 5 is 8. So I'll have 8 left after I sell these. Yeah, I believe that's the middle. There we go. There's my bait trap inventory. Isn't that beautiful? Screw eyes, Flossie. Just little screw eyes like that, so they can hang them up by a hook. And I do give a hook away with them too. And then I'll put them hooks in here this morning somewhere. Aha, there they are. Shit, I can't hold on to nothing. You see, you put your hook up wherever you're going to hang them, and you hang them, that screw eye on the hook. But guys, that is how you batch out inventory. I ran out of jars, but I would have 3 more. I don't reckon I got any more jars anyway. I don't see none. Here was my first bait trap prototype. Can you see what's wrong with this one? That was my first prototype. I had never built one before. I had never really even heard of one. And it was the Bearded Viking Facebook page, as a matter of fact, that I had posted the picture of that on. And they said, what angle did you drill those holes at? And I said, huh? Angle. So then I went back and redid it. Oh, Lordy. Oh, crap, it's 147. I'll put them in the basket for a minute. All right, guys, I've got to get off of here and get ready for work so I'm not late. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I greatly appreciate you. It means a lot. It really does. I appreciate you guys every day. I will probably be live again in the morning. I'm going to probably be starting on some bluebird houses in the morning to get some inventory up so I can post them on Marketplace. But thank you guys. You have a great day. I will see you later. And Flossie, get to work and make something. Anything. Elegant, Flossie, Plywood. Thank you guys so much. It means the world to me that you're here. Have a great day.